8 worst acidic foods you should avoid eating. I used to think acidity was only about heartburn or a sour taste. But what I didn't know was how deeply these acidic foods may affect your entire body, from your bones and joints to your skin, stomach, and even your energy levels. If you've been feeling bloated, tired, or dealing with frequent acid reflux, your diet might be more acidic than you think. In this video, I'll tell you the 8 worst acidic foods you should avoid eating, not just because they taste bad, many of them actually taste great, but because of the silent damage they do inside your body. We'll break down how each food affects specific parts of your system and why cutting them out could be a game changer for your health. As always, if you have any health concerns or medical conditions, consult your doctor before making major dietary changes. And stay tuned till the end. I'll also share 5 powerful foods that help reduce acidity naturally. Now, let's get started. 1. Processed meats. Most people don't realize that every time you eat processed meats like bacon, sausages, ham, or deli cuts, you're not just taking in protein, you're also creating an acidic burden inside your body. This acid load doesn't come from how the food tastes, but from how it breaks down after digestion. When your body metabolizes these meats, especially those preserved with nitrates, phosphates, and salt, it leaves behind sulfuric and phosphoric acid residues. These acidic byproducts don't just float around harmlessly. Your body has to neutralize them to maintain a tightly regulated blood pH. And to do that, it often pulls alkaline minerals, especially calcium, from your bones and tissues, gradually weakening structural reserves you rely on for long-term health. This internal tug-of-war starts a chain reaction. As your kidneys work overtime to excrete the acid through urine, they experience elevated levels of ammonium and uric acid. Over time, this may increase the risk of kidney stones, reduce filtration efficiency, and promote chronic kidney strain. But the effect doesn't stop at the kidneys. The inflammatory compounds from processed meat, like advanced glycation end products and nitrosamines, accelerate oxidative stress, which is already heightened by the acidic environment. Together, they damage cells, impair DNA repair mechanisms, and lay the groundwork for a host of degenerative conditions. That's why diets high in processed meats are frequently linked to inflammation-driven illnesses like type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and colorectal cancer. According to Elsevier, meat intake alters gut microbiota, often reducing beneficial bacteria like Faecalibacterium and anaerostipes and increasing Roseburia. 2. Soft drinks. Cracking open a can of cola may feel refreshing, but what hits your tongue as fizz and sweetness quickly turns into an acidic overload deep inside your body. These drinks are some of the most acid-forming items in the modern diet, with pH levels as low as 2.5, comparable to vinegar or lemon juice, but without the health benefits. The intense acidity comes mainly from phosphoric acid, which is added to enhance flavor and shelf life. Once inside the system, this synthetic acid doesn't just pass through unnoticed. It creates a serious acid burden that your body must immediately neutralize to avoid disrupting the delicate pH balance of your blood. But your body doesn't have extra alkaline minerals just lying around, so it pulls what it needs from your bones and tissues, mainly calcium and magnesium, buffer the acidity and keep things stable. This constant buffering wears your system down over time. Your kidneys, already tasked with filtering waste, now have to work harder to eliminate the acidic byproducts of phosphoric acid and other chemical additives. That overload promotes calcium loss through urine, raising your risk of kidney stones and even contributing to chronic kidney disease if the habit continues. But it's not just about the kidneys. Soft drinks also lower the pH of saliva, which, combined with the sugar content, creates the perfect environment for tooth enamel erosion and bacterial growth. This is why frequent soda consumption is strongly linked to dental decay and weakened bone density, especially in adolescents and older adults. Beyond the minerals it steals and the organs it strains, The acidic effect of these beverages also sets the stage for long-term inflammation. This happens subtly, as low-grade acidosis interferes with enzyme activity, insulin signaling, and cellular oxygen delivery. Over time, this environment fuels metabolic dysfunction, increasing the risk of weight gain, fatigue, and even type 2 diabetes. According to PubMed, soft drinks with low pH may erode tooth enamel. Drinks with citric and ascorbic acid were most erosive, while higher calcium content helped reduce enamel loss. 3. Artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners might seem like a clever shortcut: 0 calories, no sugar spike, and the same sweet taste. But the chemical story they write inside your body is far from simple. When substances like aspartame, saccharin, and sucralose enter your system, they don't break down like natural compounds. Instead, they leave behind acidic metabolites, including formic acid and phenylalanine derivatives in the case of aspartame, which contribute to an internal acidic load. These synthetic acids disrupt the body's pH regulation and force your system into damage control mode. To stabilize your internal environment, your body leaches alkaline minerals from its reserves, especially from bones and tissues, to counteract the artificial acidity left behind. The longer this balancing act continues, the more it taxes your mineral balance and cellular function. This acidic footprint places stress on your kidneys, which are responsible for filtering out metabolic waste. Artificial sweeteners, especially in high doses, increase acid retention and disturb the kidney's ability to maintain proper acid-base equilibrium. That strain isn't just theoretical, it's been linked to a reduction in kidney filtration efficiency over time. And while these sweeteners may bypass a blood sugar spike, they don't avoid neurological stress. Aspartame, for example, breaks down into methanol, which converts into formaldehyde and formic acid, both of which are toxic and acidic, affecting brain function, cognitive clarity, and neurotransmitter balance in sensitive individuals. This neurochemical disruption contributes to inflammation in the central nervous system, especially when compounded by the low-grade acidosis already in play. The impact doesn't end at the kidneys or the brain. The acidic residues from these compounds also change the gut environment. An acidic gut pH shifts the balance of microbiota toward more pathogenic species, weakening the gut barrier and encouraging inflammation throughout the body. This may impair digestion, trigger immune reactivity, and promote metabolic syndrome. At the same time, low-grade acidosis influences hormonal signaling, particularly insulin sensitivity. That's why artificial sweetener use leads to increased cravings, big fat accumulation, and even insulin resistance over time. According to Elsevier, artificial sweeteners like saccharin, aspartame, and acesulfame K may alter gut microbiota and may affect glucose metabolism. 4. Red meat. When your body breaks down beef, lamb, or pork, it metabolizes amino acids rich in sulfur, along with purines and heme iron, producing acidic byproducts like sulfuric acid and uric acid. These don't just pass through unnoticed, they create a significant acid load that your body is forced to neutralize quickly. To keep your blood pH within its narrow, safe range, your system pulls on internal buffering agents like calcium and magnesium, often leaching them from bones and tissues. This constant compensation quietly drains your mineral reserves and sets up the groundwork for inflammation, structural weakness, and long-term cellular stress. An acidic shift affects muscle function and insulin signaling. When the body is constantly working to buffer acid, it reduces its ability to maintain lean muscle, especially during periods of stress or aging. Meanwhile, the inflammation and metabolic strain tied to acid-forming diets may impair how insulin functions, increasing the risk of blood sugar imbalances. Even gut health doesn't escape the impact. Red meat's acidic residue may shift microbial populations in the intestines, leading to an overgrowth of harmful bacteria that thrive in low pH conditions. This gut imbalance not only weakens immunity but also adds to the systemic inflammatory load already triggered by the acidic nature of red meat. According to the National Library of Medicine, the red and processed meats create an acidic environment in the gut by forming compounds like N-nitroso compounds and secondary bile acids. 5. White flour and refined grains. White flour and refined grains might look clean and light on the surface, but the way they act inside your body tells a very different story. Stripped of their natural fiber, vitamins, and minerals during processing, these foods leave behind a highly processed starch that breaks down rapidly into simple sugars. As your body metabolizes these refined carbohydrates, it produces a net acid load, primarily in the form of lactic acid and other acid-forming byproducts. Because these grains lack the buffering minerals found in their whole form, the body is left to neutralize the acid on its own, often by pulling alkaline elements like calcium, potassium, and magnesium from your bones, muscles, and tissues to protect the blood's pH. That metabolic cost doesn't just stop at mineral loss. The acidity from refined grains also creates a ripple effect in how your body manages inflammation and energy regulation. As the acid load builds, it triggers a subtle but chronic state of metabolic stress. This stress interferes with insulin function, increases fat storage, and raises the risk of type 2 diabetes over time. Additionally, white flour's quick spike in blood glucose followed by a crash contributes to internal acidity by encouraging anaerobic metabolism. Your cells start producing more acid in low oxygen conditions. This worsens the acidic environment and puts added pressure on your kidneys and lungs to remove the excess waste. According to MDPI, refined grains show little effect on satiety or gut microbiota, unlike whole grains. 6. Alcohol. Drinks like beer, whiskey, vodka, and other spirits don't just deliver ethanol, they leave behind a stream of acid-forming byproducts after digestion. As the liver processes alcohol, it converts ethanol into acetaldehyde and then into acetic acid, a substance that shifts the body's internal pH toward the acidic end. This isn't just a momentary dip. The acid load produced from alcohol metabolism creates a chain reaction where your body is forced to draw on alkaline reserves to maintain its delicate pH balance. And because alcohol has no buffering nutrients like potassium or magnesium, that your system pays for every sip by pulling minerals from your bones and tissues just to neutralize the damage. On a cellular scale, the acidic environment weakens antioxidant defenses and elevates inflammation. Alcohol-derived acidity promotes oxidative damage by increasing reactive oxygen species, which harm DNA, slow down tissue repair, and contribute to premature aging. This environment also interferes with glucose metabolism and may worsen insulin resistance, creating a setup for metabolic imbalance and fatigue. And while moderate drinking is often portrayed as harmless, regular exposure to alcohol's acid-forming effects leaves the body struggling to detox and recalibrate, especially if it's not offset by a high intake of alkaline-supporting foods like vegetables and clean water. Swapping alcohol for non-acidic, hydrating alternatives may reduce internal stress, support detox pathways, and allow your body to thrive without the metabolic cost. According to BMJ, beer and wine increase stomach acid more than strong liquors like whiskey or gin. This is due to non-alcoholic ingredients in beer and wine, which may play a role in alcohol-related stomach problems. 7. Coffee. Coffee might be your go-to for a morning boost, but beneath that warm, energizing aroma lies a surprisingly acidic challenge for your body. Whether it's a light roast, a strong espresso, or your favorite cold brew, every cup delivers a blend of organic acids like chlorogenic, quinic, and citric acid that push your internal chemistry toward acidity. Once metabolized, these acids contribute to the body's net acid load, which your system must immediately buffer to maintain a stable blood pH. The body doesn't just let that acidity sit, it has to neutralize it, often by tapping into alkaline mineral reserves like calcium and magnesium stored in bones and tissues. So while the caffeine may be waking you up, it's also quietly draining the very minerals that keep your body structurally strong and metabolically balanced. caffeine itself adds another layer. While it's a stimulant, it also acts as a mild diuretic, encouraging fluid loss and further concentrating acids in your bloodstream. That may lead to dehydration, which reduces the efficiency of your body's natural buffering systems. Meanwhile, the acidic environment inside the gut may shift microbial balance, reducing populations of beneficial bacteria and giving opportunistic species a better chance to thrive. This may weaken the gut barrier, impair nutrient absorption, and heighten inflammatory responses across the body. Even if you don't feel these effects immediately, over time they may add up, especially if coffee becomes a daily ritual without enough alkaline support from plant-based foods and mineral-rich hydration. Switching to low-acid herbal teas or alkalizing beverages may help restore balance without giving up the comfort of a warm drink. According to MDPI, coffee's acids may lower less pressure and boost stomach acid, possibly causing reflux or heartburn, though effects vary by person and coffee type. 8. Fried foods. That golden crunch from fries, nuggets, or onion rings might feel irresistible, but what's happening beneath that crispy surface is far from harmless. Fried foods are among the most acid-forming items in the modern diet, not just because of the ingredients, but because of what high-heat cooking does to them. When oils, especially refined vegetable oils, are heated to extreme temperatures, they break down and produce compounds like aldehydes, trans fats, and advanced glycation end products. These aren't just inflammatory, they leave behind a dense acidic residue once digested. Your body views this excess acid as a threat to its tightly controlled pH balance and immediately scrambles to neutralize it by pulling alkaline minerals like calcium and magnesium from bones, muscles, and tissues. So every crispy bite comes with a hidden cost that your body silently works to pay off. The acidity also weakens cellular energy production. Fried foods impair mitochondrial function by disrupting how cells metabolize fats and glucose, especially in acidic environments. This reduces your energy, slows recovery, and makes you more prone to fatigue, even if you're getting enough sleep. Add to that the oxidative stress triggered by trans fats and acrolein compounds, and you have a setup that promotes tissue damage, arterial stiffness, and poor metabolic flexibility. While the taste of fried food may be comforting, the physiological aftermath is anything but. Replacing deep-fried options with baked or air-fried versions made in stable, unrefined oils may dramatically cut down the acid load. According to MDPI, a meta-analysis of 18 studies found that fried food consumption significantly increases gastric cancer risk, affecting both Asian and non-Asian populations. Moving on, let's discuss 5 alkaline foods that help fight acidity naturally. If you're like me and you've been feeling bloated, sluggish, or battling acid reflux way too often, your body might be crying out for more alkaline support. The good news is that you don't need to make huge changes to feel a difference. Just adding a few naturally alkalizing foods to your daily meals may help balance out the acidity, support your energy, and make you feel lighter and more comfortable. Now, I'll walk you through 5 powerful foods that help reduce acidity naturally and why they work so well inside your body. 1. Cucumber. Cucumbers are more than just crunchy salad fillers. They're one of the most hydrating and alkalizing vegetables you may eat. With a high water content and a mineral profile rich in potassium and magnesium, they help flush excess acid from the body and support a healthy pH balance. They also cool inflammation in the digestive tract, making them great for soothing acid reflux and bloating. 2. Spinach. Spinach is a powerhouse of alkaline minerals like calcium and magnesium that help neutralize acid in the bloodstream. It's also rich in chlorophyll, which acts as a natural detoxifier. When you include spinach in your meals, you're giving your body the tools to cleanse itself and stabilize its internal pH. 3. Avocado. Creamy and satisfying, avocados are surprisingly alkalizing. They contain healthy fats, fiber, and a good dose of potassium, all of which contribute to reducing the acid load in the body. They also support liver function, which is essential for clearing out acidic waste products and maintaining balance. 4. Lemons. This one shocks a lot of people. Lemons taste acidic, but they become alkalizing once digested. Their citric acid turns into bicarbonate in the body, helping to neutralize excess acidity. Squeezing lemon into warm water first thing in the morning is a great way to gently kickstart digestion and rebalance your internal environment. 5. Celery. Celery is naturally high in water, potassium, and essential electrolytes that help flush acid-forming toxins from the kidneys. It also supports bile production, which aids in fat digestion and reduces the buildup of acidic waste. Adding celery to smoothies or snacking on it raw may give your body a clean, refreshing boost toward alkalinity. If you're anything like me, you probably didn't think twice about how acidic your meals are. But when your diet is filled with acid-forming foods, it may quietly chip away at your health, eroding your bone strength, putting pressure on your kidneys, increasing inflammation, and slowing your metabolism. That's why I started paying attention to what I eat. When you shift to more alkaline-rich foods, like leafy greens, root vegetables, and citrus fruits, which are alkalizing after digestion, you help your body restore balance, lower inflammation, and feel better overall. If you've been dealing with acid reflux, joint pain, fatigue, or mineral deficiencies, take a closer look at the acidic foods on your plate. In this amazing video, we learned about all the worst acidic foods that you should avoid eating. But did you know that there are other foods in your pantry that may be just as impactful? Want to find out more? Watch 10 top superfoods to increase blood flow and circulation. Or watch 10 powerful fruits your kidneys are begging you to eat every day. Watch one, or even better, watch both. What other foods do you think are bad for our health? Let us know in the comments below.